Greetings, citizens. Well, another Round the Verse came out this week, and I'm just going to give you the highlights real quick. Of course, as you can see here, they are doing a new landing system. It gives you more feedback, exactly what pads are available, and gives you kind of a nice visual representation. It sounds like now as well that to activate landing mode, you have to actually manually lower your gear. Thank goodness, thank goodness, thank goodness. I've been waiting for this for a long time. The gear kind of automatically going in and out by itself has been very frustrating. But when you actually lower your gear, you go into landing mode, and your ship goes into precision flight mode. And it sounds like what they're talking about with the automated landing system. If you choose to do that, you actually have to hold the button down once you're over a pad, and the landing will be automated. And so it doesn't sound like it's like before, where basically you just flew over the pad and then it just took control by itself. You actually have to manually hold down that let landing button. Pretty interesting. Also this week they showed us the new cover system that's going to be coming out with 2.6 and Star Marine. And as you can see here, the further you lean out or look to the right or left around the corner, your character comes out a little bit more. It's shown a little bit more detail as you move on, but basically they have it set up so that your weapons don't clip to the walls. And look at this. This just looks so amazing. It looks so clean. And if they really pull this off quite well, this will be a very innovative cover mechanic system that it wouldn't surprise me to see a lot of other shooters out there in the future start implementing if they want to keep the full immersion of FPS, as opposed to things like Rainbow Six, which I've been a fan of, but like the ones on the consoles where if you snap into a corner, you're in third person. And this, well, this would change everything for games like that. Very cool, and I'm looking forward to playing it myself. They did actually go ahead and talk about the Argo a little bit, but that's not something that really interests me, so let's get into what it actually does. They're showing off the Idris here at full states of damage, and the lighting effects and everything. This is just absolutely breathtaking. It really looks like something that would have been done in CGI for a movie like a decade ago, and to see this level of destruction, the way the lights are, just everything about this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut to where they start letting us hear the sounds. They're using hundreds and hundreds of layers of sounds to not only give positional, but to create this level of depth and immersion when you're inside of a ship like this. And if you want to see the full version of this, just check out Around the Verse. And but yeah, this is amazing. I wasn't expecting anything this level of detail, and I love it. I've always loved being surprised by these guys. So here you go. I'll go ahead and cut to the portion with sound, and I'll leave you at that. Catch you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.
Once again, with this version of the Idris, the emphasis has been on detail and creating a very positional 3D environment to explore. And this approach of using hundreds upon hundreds of individual sound spots to create the audio environment does give you this sort of 3D positional thing, but it gives you a great sense of depth. And as you approach many of these sound spots, their character changes, they brighten as you get closer to them, and we bring in lots more layers of detail. So as you examine something and get closer to it, it opens up and you see and hear more information. So just for a moment, let's remind ourselves what it's like at the other end of the damage spectrum on board the Idris on a good day. And you can hear that it's a pretty serene experience. It's a calm, gentle ambience. The ship's humming away nicely. But as we start to bring up the procedural damage in the audio, things start to rattle and hum, and the ambience changes dramatically. The whole feel of the ship changes. Much more tension. These electrical boxes on the wall rattling and vibrating in different ways. Again, reflected in hundreds of sound spots across the ship that all have this dynamic character which morphs and changes to reflect the health of the ship. So right now, let's have a look back on the catastrophically damaged Idris. Let's take a quick look behind the scenes. So here you can see we've got some emergency fire sprinkler sounds, and there's a particle system right here, and that has a sound of the sprinkler associated with it. But here on the floor is an auxiliary sound that is the sound of the water drops splashing and hitting other surfaces. So, you know, there's these different dimensions to even simple ambient sounds such as a fire sprinkler.
Especially because now we're dealing with aircraft with wings and things like that, and we're going to put aside
with lift properties.
Yeah, with lift properties, we're going to put aside the big ones just for now. We're just going to deal with the fighters and the vanguards and stuff like that for now. Things with wings.